By this point, it's no secret that Rooster Teeth has struggled with romantic elements in RWBY. There's no shortage of videos available that discuss how Blake and Ying's relationship could have, and should have, been established earlier. I've even brought it up multiple times across my videos. The rushed nature of Bumblebee's relationship has been such a hot-button issue since Volume 6 that it seems there's almost nothing new to be said about it. And you know, I don't really want to keep beating this dead horse. So I'm not going to. Surprise! I'm not talking about Bumblebee today! If you've seen some of my other videos, you'll know that I personally am a fan of Rose Garden. Not everyone likes the pair of RWBY and Oscar, and that's fine. I'm not here to tell you your opinions are wrong. But you know what? Let's indulge ourselves today and take a second to go over why people like me fancy this couple. The two look cute together. They're both a couple of the shortest members of the cast, meaning they get to easily look each other in the eye. Their shared, messy, short hairstyle makes them look nice together, as do the red accents in Oscar's newest design. They both have special eyes, and they're the two youngest members of the group. The two seem to have been designed to look good together. And outside of the two's physical elements, the story has done a pretty good job establishing the pair's connection. Oscar shares how scared he is with RWBY, and RWBY is the only member of the team who actually treats the farm boy like an individual and not just Ozpin's new face. Even if the show opts out of making the two a couple, they've done a good job establishing them as friends. That being said though, there have been a few hints that there may be more than friendship. Oscar tends to seem bashful around RWBY, hinting at least a crush on his end, but Volume 7 also has the two do this awkward, gotta say goodbye and be kinda nervous while we do it thing. Even though I like the ship, I had found this interaction to have kinda come out of nowhere. Oh, suddenly you two are nervous around each other? But it was still cute and hints at perhaps more to come. And to be fair, you don't really need a reason to like a couple. If your favorite pairing is two characters who have never even interacted before, that's okay. And if the reason you like them is just they look cute together, or even I like their colors, that's also okay. That all being said, I think we should be fair and also examine the cons to Rose Garden, the biggest of which being that Oscar never interacts with anybody else. Outside of one sentence to Blake in the finale of Volume 7, I can't think of a single instance where Oscar wasn't stapled to RWBY, Crow, or Ironwood. While I like getting to see Oscar chat with RWBY, I wish we got to see him interact with everyone in the group. It almost seems like you have to ship him with RWBY when he feels like a stranger to the rest of the cast. And honestly, on this topic, even though Oscar is usually stuck talking to RWBY, he doesn't even get to do that much. By this point in the video, I've probably run out of unique instances of the two chatting to put on screen, and have had to start either replaying clips or using moments in the show where the two aren't actually together. Oscar really needs to be able to talk to everyone more, and should be more involved with the plot in Team RWBY's adventures. Beyond that, Oscar does seem to be doing all the work for this pairing. He's the one blushing and being awkward, he's the one incorporating RWBY's main color into his design. While one-sided crushes can work, they still need to actually establish the couple at some point, or have the other party reject the infatuated feelings. Otherwise, the relationship doesn't get to go anywhere before its demise, or it doesn't get to go anywhere without any sort of conclusion to it. If this is a one-sided crush, Oscar's gotta confess eventually. And now we've come to the part of the video where I approach the two most common complaints against Rose Garden. I get comments like these a lot on my other videos, and I'm really tired of replying the same exact way to them over and over, because apparently no one is willing to check to see if someone else has already left a comment like the one you intend to post. But with the creation of this video, I now have a convenient link I can simply throw at people. Hooray! Comment 1. Rose Garden is gross because Ozpin is in Oscar's head and that's pedophilia. So, let's all make it clear that a man at Ozpin's age dating a girl who was 15 to 17 would be gross. No one is disagreeing on that, but let's also be honest, that wouldn't fucking happen in the show. There's no way Rooster Teeth are gonna make one of their characters a pedophile. And on top of that, I don't ship RWBY and Ozpin. Ozpin and Oscar are different people. If Ozpin were in charge most of the time, I wouldn't be shipping the two. If I thought Ozpin would take over and Oscar's personality would be lost forever, I wouldn't be shipping the two. The show's made it pretty clear, at least to me, that Ozpin's personality is the one that's going to fade away eventually, and then it'll just be Oscar, but like, wise and suddenly good at fighting. I don't think Ozpin will always be there. Duh. Comment 2. Oscar's only 14 and RWBY's 17. That means she'll be an adult soon and then she'll be dating someone who's underage and that's grooming a minor. These comments are the most baffling to me. First, if the two start dating, that doesn't mean they'll also be having sex. They can wait. Pretty easy. And on top of that, the two could also wait to start dating until they're both over the age of 18. Also very easy. Second, that's not how grooming works. Like, it's a verb. RWBY would have to actively groom Oscar. If two teens are dating and they're 1 year apart, that means eventually one will become 18 while the other's still 17. That doesn't make the relationship suddenly grooming a minor. Listen, grooming is a very heavy subject that I'm not particularly interested in going over in detail for a video that I want to be lighthearted. If you're confused on what qualifies as grooming, look up the definition on Wikipedia or other reputable sites. But yeah, if RWBY started dating Oscar, that doesn't automatically make it grooming. Third, Oscar ages too, guys. RWBY was 16 during volumes 4 and 5 when Oscar was introduced. While the wiki hasn't listed his new age for some reason, the whole cast has aged up a year over the course of volumes 6 and 7. Oscar is not 14, he would be 15 by now. He's not gonna be 14 forever. Fourth, just like the Ozpin comment earlier, Rooster Teeth are never going to make their main character a child groomer. It will not happen. And to round off this idea that a 2-year age gap is too gross for RWBY and Oscar to be a couple, let's take a look at RWBY's two other most popular ships, Jean and Weiss. Jean and Weiss are 2 years older than RWBY. In Volume 1, Jean and Weiss were 17. RWBY was 15. That's the exact same age gap that RWBY and Oscar currently have, yet no one was pulling the child grooming card out for Lancaster or White Rose. So, yeah, either all those people who say Rose Garden is gross because she's almost an adult, she should date Weiss instead, are either hypocrites or just trying to find an excuse to denounce a ship they don't like. Listen, if you prefer the idea of RWBY dating someone else in the cast, that's fine, but don't try to villainize people who do think RWBY and Oscar are cute together with excuses like these. Just say, I like her with Jean better, or whatever. We don't all have to agree on this sort of thing. Alright, well, let's lighten the mood back up with a couple of rapid-fire opinions about some other RWBY and Oscar ships. Okay, so, honestly, a lot of the things that make me like Rose Garden also apply to Lancaster. It's understandable why people ship RWBY and Jean. At this point, it's really just personal preference. Even though I prefer Rose Garden, I'm all aboard for the Oscar x Whitley ship idea. Honestly, I hope the boys get to hang out more so we can get more cute fan art of the two. According to the gigantic shipping chart, there's a ship name for RWBY dating her sister, her uncle, her parents, and her dog. That's fucking gross! I've never really cared for White Rose, mostly because I'm a sucker for friendship. I like the team caring about each other like their family, and not just because they all conveniently fell in love. Oscar has some of the best ship names. I'm amazed Oscar x Jean isn't more popular. I've never really been into the idea of RWBY x Penny for a similar reason why I don't ship RWBY with Weiss. I'm just really into meaningful friendships. They do have a cute ship name though. A fun plus side to Rose Garden is that RWBY's taller than Oscar. That is my favorite thing. We need more boys being the short one couples. So yeah, I just wanted to make a little video about a cute pair in a show I like. The discourse around RWBY's relationships is usually pretty toxic or uninviting, and I'd like to try and normalize the idea of shipping should be fun. While I do think there's value in evaluating how Rooster Teeth has handled the writing of relationships in the show, there's no need to insult other fans for simply having a different opinion than you. I'm sure this probably won't be the last time I talk on the topic of RWBY's relationships, but hopefully it's more videos like this, where I talk about the pros and cons of a cute couple, and not another dissertation on how poorly something's been written for the show. Now then, all of you go out there and make cute, wholesome fan art of your favorite RWBY pairings.